Hey there, I'm Joshua Howard from 180theory.com. Welcome to my video series about hypnosis. This is video number 5. I can't be hypnotized. Hopefully by now you realize that this idea that somebody can't be hypnotized is BS. Because if you've been following along in this video series, you know that people go in and out of trance states during the day, pretty much all day long, and that trance states are necessary for life. So here's really the issue. It's true, some people have an issue going into trance purposely, particularly going into trance purposely for a hypnotist. But this usually is a direct result of the client's lack of trust in the hypnotist or themselves, and not actually about the issue of whether or not they can go into trance. Usually, and I've at least insofar as the hypnosis lore and what I've seen in my experience shows, is that people who are unable to go into trance with a hypnotist are unable to go into trance because some kind of lack of faith or trust. Either they don't trust themselves, they don't trust hypnosis in general, or they don't trust the hypnotist. And it's often something like they don't want to look like a silly person, they don't want to do something embarrassing, they want to make sure that they stay in control of themselves. These are the kind of things that stop people from going into trance. Also, there's a small group of people that have problems going into trance because they have a hard time dealing with not being in control of situations. And so any kind of lack of control is seen to them as deeply dangerous. And so their critical factor pops in and it can be very difficult for them to go into trance. But for most people, when they say that I can't go into trance or I can't be hypnotized, they're really just making a statement about misunderstanding what hypnosis is or having this kind of fear or lack of trust. And so, something I've found is that people often who believe they can't be hypnotized have a couple of beliefs. They often believe that only stupid people can be hypnotized. And this is actually not really true, because if you think about it, hypnosis really involves somebody being kind of smart and imaginative. Because if you're going to have hyper-attentive focus inside of yourself in your imagination, then you really need to have stuff going on in your imagination. You need to have stuff you can think about, and you need to be kind of imaginative. The more imaginative you are, the better of a hypnotic subject you're going to be, because you can just do more things in hypnosis. You can understand more things. And so another reason people say that they can't be hypnotized is because they feel like they can't give up control. But the thing is in life, you're never really in control anyway. You're kind of stuck in this position where you have to act in the world as if you're fully in control of things, but you're only partially in control of things. Like when you're driving down the street, you're in control of the car you're driving and what your body does, but you're not in control of whether or not the basic mechanisms of the car fail, or whether or not anybody else hits you, or if like a dog or somebody runs out in the street. You can't control everything. You can really only control certain facets of reality. And hypnosis is kind of the same way. You have to give up a little bit of control to go into hypnosis, but you don't have to give up control completely. Like we talked about in some of the earlier videos, if something happens in hypnosis that you don't agree with, it won't work for you. It will be rejected. Because your mind is really there to help you protect you from the things that are happening in reality if you need to be protected from them. So your mind isn't going to let you just get horrible, awful, negative suggestions put in there. Like, for instance, if you think about cult leaders and some people who've been really powerfully influential in a negative way, they didn't get this power by just walking up to somebody and saying, I now control you. You're under my spell. Listen to what I'm saying. It took months and months, or even years in some situations, of constant conditioning and reinforcement. Conditioning and reinforcement. Conditioning and reinforcement. And this is really necessary when you start thinking about personal change or how people really start to alter themselves or make changes in their lives. It's not by somebody putting in some magical word or some magical phrase. It's really about them conditioning themselves to be somebody different. And so again, I would point out, to answer this question, are there people that can't be hypnotized? Sure, there are people that cannot purposely be hypnotized, but not because they're unable to be purposely hypnotized, but because, in a certain sense, they're unwilling to be. They won't allow the situation to happen, because honestly, once you allow the situation to happen, it's pretty natural and straightforward. It's something that happens day in and day out. I hope that I have answered this question for you. And if you're interested in experiencing hypnosis now, I recommend you check out my website, 180theory.com. Hope to see you in the next video.